I warned you, didn't I? I said, beware these dogs. I said, do not approach. Y'all didn't listen.
I told you. You heard me say it. You heard me say it. I slowed down so you can come and get some. You can't beat us. We too fast. We too strong. He can't tackle us. He can't catch us. You might as well leave now. Get the hell out of Philly. They're scared of you, bro. They are scared of you. These dogs is growling now.
And the last thing you want to be is that next meal.
Do not cast pearls before swine. And what that means is that if people are not listening to you, stop talking to them. And that is the best piece of advice that I can give you. And what happens is that if you stop talking to people who aren't listening to you and start watching them instead, they will tell you what they're up to. But so if you have things to say them, but you find people that will listen, talk to them. The ones who aren't listening, pull back. Because you're devaluing what you have to say by offering it to an audience that does nothing but reject it. And that's a good guideline to life in general.
A lot of people can't be alone with themselves. They can't.
Right.
I can be alone with myself. I don't need to talk to nobody or nothing. I can talk to myself and figure it out. A lot of people don't want to face themselves.
Right.
And that's an act of valor. That's commendable. Because through isolation is where we reach elevation. That's when most of my epiphanies happen, when I'm alone.
Shut the fuck up. Ask me what kind of bitch you're being. You're just a bitch. And that's not me trying to be some after school special shit. You really are a bitch. Maybe you're a piece of shit. Maybe you want to be nobody. Maybe you don't have the determination to be somebody better than who you are. So what's your fucking excuse? Get to work, man.
No one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you. Unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you've got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not. We're not wired that way. You weren't born that way. You weren't that way when you were growing up, and you're certainly not that way as an adult. No one's coming.
Somewhere in your fucking life, something fucked you up. And you didn't deal with it. People want to find peace immediately. And this is where people don't like me. I don't believe that shit. You're going to find peace from going to war with yourself, because we all got shit. The reason why my story resonates with people, because I don't hide. I'll tell you exactly who the fuck I am. I will admit to it. People are great at hiding. So they want to just find peace. No, you got to take your shit, fix whatever's fucked up in you. Don't just shove it under the rug. Fix it, and then you'll find some peace later.
I don't eat with people that I wouldn't starve with. Do you know what I'm saying? I eat with my own. I don't try and bring people in and have this kind of fake thing. Don't share a dinner table with people that you wouldn't starve with.
Alpha 3's back, little Rhythmics.
Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you.
Anyway, 3's back, getting ready for this Eagles game. The Rams have 0.0000001% chance of winning this game. If anybody tried to convince you, try to sound like they were smart, saying how the Rams are going to win this game coming into Philadelphia, all right, they think you're fucking stupid. There's no way, nobody in their right mind that really analyzes the circumstances, the totality of the circumstances of this game, actually really believe that the Rams are going to come into Philadelphia and win. Like, knock it off. Anyway, I will be sipping on the proper number 12. Alpha 3 will be sipping on proper number 12. And my boy K Dubs from Trenton State Prison did give me a bottle of caramel, Crown Royal. That is delicious. If anybody can get their hands on those, that's really good. So I'll be sipping that. I'll be sipping on that, watching the game. If anybody wants Alpha 3 to meet them at the bar locally, Alpha 3 will do that. I'll meet you at the bar. We'll hoop it up and get fired up for this game. But the one thing Alpha 3 will not do is call any LA fans, the females, ugly cunts. Right? Alpha 3 does not condone that type of behavior. Now, if there's a Rams fan that's going to start some shit with Alpha 3, I will call him an ugly cunt. And if Alpha 3 feels threatened, physically threatened, maybe he'll throw a couple bitch slaps in there as well. So Alpha 3's not above giving some dude a bitch slap if he feels threatened. Anyway, somebody requested a true DOC story, so I'm gonna get into that. Get this fucking scat pack! Get this fucking scat pack fired up! Woo! Some Audi tried me yesterday. I had to embarrass him. Woo! Shook me off! Yeah! One of the great rock and roll songs of all time. So here's the story. I know you're waiting for the story. So at the time I was an officer. At the time, let me take these things off my face. At the time I was an officer, and I was a special needs officer, the special needs escort officer, GA. We call them GAs, General Assignment Officer. And for that particular position, it's to your benefit to be a savage, right? Because you're not really dealing with special needs people. So let's get that out of the way before there's any confusion. They're not like mentally disabled people, right? They're not what we perceive to be special needs, right? They're dudes that don't want to go into, for the most part, they're dudes that don't want to go into general population or try to act out because they're little bitches and they can't handle the punishment for their crimes. So right away, they try to claim that they want to kill themselves. Now, are there exceptions to that rule? Of course they are. But I would say 99% of the inmates that go to special needs are these clowns that are too fucking scared to go into general population. So they say they want to kill themselves and they got to go on suicide watch or constant watch or some fucking stupid fucking watch that the DOC deems them to go on, right? They're just people that's looking for attention. And so I was a special needs officer, and this guy came in from a different prison. Apparently he got knocked out and then ass raped by a bunch of dudes, right? Let's just say, now I don't know the total number. This had to be like 8 years ago. So let's just say about 8 dudes gang raped his asshole because he was a baby toucher, because he was a child molester, child rapist or whatever. So guys get handled, of course you know that, by the other inmates, right? Now Alpha 3 doesn't necessarily care what type of inmate you are, what crime you committed, treated them all the same, fair, consistently, with intensity and aggression, and a loud, motivating, commanding voice. And I only use justified force, just so there's a disclosure here so everybody understands how Alpha 3 operated in the prison. And you can interview all of the inmates. They knew how I operated. They'll all consistently say that Alpha 3 didn't start no shit. He finished it. Anyway. Like a prayer. These fucking goofy religious people singing like a prayer songs, thinking it's a religious song when it's about a blowjob. It's so funny. Anyway, so this inmate came in, little fat ginger white dude, right? And he had gotten knocked out and gang raped. And so we brought him in, and I'm not going to say any names who I was with, but we brought him in, and the sergeant at the time gives a speech about how they're going to conduct themselves while they're in the prison. All right? And tells the inmates exactly what they're supposed to do, what's required of them, and how they're going to conduct themselves during the escort, right? So the dude was very gimpy, very limpy, like he couldn't even walk. Dude was like you needed to fucking put him in a wheelchair type. So we were shuffling his monkey ass in. And of course you got to do a thorough search, right? You got to do a thorough search to make sure they're not hiding anything in their crevices. And so this particular dude, you could tell he was fucked up. Like he had bruises all over his body. And, you know, we stripped him down into his fucking butt ass naked. And then, unless you're in the military or some kind of special forces, this dark humor, it's not funny, but it makes you laugh. Because it's funny because you get put in these situations, right? And how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it? So anyway, the sergeant was asking him questions. It was like, Alpha 3, get to the fucking point. Finish the fucking story. So, I could probably sue the state for mental anguish. Probably get a good chunk of money for all the shit they made me do. Like, cause that's a real thing. I could probably do that, but they're gonna be like, you were fucked up before you joined the department. You're not gonna try to pin that. You're not gonna try to pin that shit on the department. You were fucked up from the Marine Corps. Go talk to the Marines. But I already maxed them out. I'm already getting 100% from the Marine Corps. So I need some more income, and inflation is high. So I might sue the fucking state for putting me through all this anguish and this mental stress. Anyway. So anyway, the sergeant was asking him questions. Why are you here? What are you doing here? Why are you in? Because New Jersey State Prison is the last stop. You don't go anywhere else. All the other prisons, if you act up or something happens, they send you to New Jersey State Prison. There's no other place to go, right? So we want to know why you were there. Now we already know. We already got the heads up why you're there. All right. We've done our thorough investigating on particular individuals when they get to the prison. But we wanted him to tell us in his own words, at least the sergeant did. I was like, what are you doing here? Why are you here, you fucking retard? Now, I know people don't like that type of language, but I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting. I'm just paraphrasing. What are you doing here? You can't get along in other prisons. You got to come to this fucking shithole. Like, it doesn't get any worse than this fucking place. You must have really fucked up to get into this fucking place to be transferred here. So the guy was like, I don't want to talk about it. But that's not how the way it works. It doesn't work like that, right? Just because you don't feel like doing something or saying something doesn't mean you don't have to. We don't live in a fucking liberal fucking blue fucking world. All right, we live in the real world. So anyway, the sergeant was like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you want to do, what you do or don't want to do. You're in New Jersey State Prison now. You're going to do what the fuck we told you to do. All right. Or there's going to be consequences, severe consequences. Right. So the dude's like, I got knocked out. Right. And there was a stir, and you can tell like the dude just broke down, started fucking crying and everything, man. It was a sad scene. He's like, they knocked me out, and then they raped me. And he just broke down crying, bro. It was a sad scene. Looking back, man, like, what are you supposed to do? You're like, the fuck was this? Like, we didn't ask for all that. Like, relax. So, anyway, we're like, all right, let's get this fucking guy where he's going. Like, we don't need this shit right now. Let's get on with our fucking day. We didn't ask for that. We just wanted to know why you were there, right? So we finished the stripped out, right? And we were like, all right, let's see your mouth. Let's see behind your ears. You got to go through all that. shake your hair out. Let's see in your nose. You hide anything in your nose. You gotta get your gun out. You gotta do all this shit, right? Let's see your armpits. All right, now this dude was fat, right? He was huge. Just gotta get into the fucking rolls, because if some of these dudes are so fat, you gotta get into the rolls. All right, let's open up your rolls. Let's see. All right, let's see your penis. All right, pull up your fucking balls. Let's see in your fucking grundle area. All right, now turn around under your foot. They gotta lift their heels under your feet. All right, now let's see your butt cheeks, right? You gotta do it. All right, if the state doesn't like it, if those cunts downtown don't like it, if they think it's something devious going on, change the fucking policy. But anyway, you gotta look in their butt, between their butt cheeks, to see if they're hiding anything up their ass. All right, so we're like, all right, bend over, spread your butt cheeks. When I tell you this guy's asshole, you could have easily... Now, look how big this fucking thing is, right? Look how big this... You could have easily fit this thing in this guy's ass, no fucking problem. Not even touching the sides. You could have fucking slid this fucking thing right in his fucking asshole, and he could have kept walking like nothing, like he was good. We're like, all right, we've seen enough. Let's get this fucking guy out of here. Now, some of you watching this video might think that's distasteful, but imagine you having to do that fucking job for 17 years, all right? So before you start criticizing Alpha 3 and looking at Alpha 3 like he's disgusting, all right, put yourself in Alpha 3's shoes, all right? At the time, I was only getting like $20 an hour to have to deal with that shit. That's why people are so fucking pissed off in the department. Like, they're like, not now because they get paid pretty decent money now, but back then when we were only getting like $35,000 now I'm exaggerating because it was more like $60,000 a year, but to have to go through that shit and deal with these type of people and be put in these experiences, it does a little something to your mind. It makes you a little fucking twisted. You get a little dark. You start getting a little dark humor in your fucking body. Anyway, I'm at the gym. Alpha 3's out. Send it.